Hello everyone, this is Satyaprakash. Welcome to my channel. This is part 33 of GitHub. In this video, we'll discuss what are the steps to manage wrong files on GitHub using Git Bash. So before going through this part 33, please visit my part 31 and part 32 of Git and GitHub tutorial. So in part 31, that is how to manage code review on GitHub by reviewer, and part 32, how to merge branches into master or main branch in GitHub using pull request or PR. So guys, there is few points we need to discuss in this video. That is, the reviewer wants to manage or some changes in index.html and web.config file. So here in this part, step 1, I'll show the details on this part 1 or step 1. So I'll go to the previous PR. So before going through this PR, I'll show you that in this video I have used two GitHub user member ID. This is for InfoSatya, that is the mail server for GitHub Reviewer. So the GitHub Reviewer name is InfoSatya, and this pull request I have logged in using the InfoSatya user ID, right? This is the GitHub Reviewer. And second browser, that is in Mozilla, I have used Satya CS GitHub mail server, right? You can see here, and this is the pull request. I am logged using the GitHub member, that is Satya CS GitHub. All right, so this is the pull request of the same pull request we have created earlier, that is pull request, right? So what I'll do is, here the reviewer will add some comments in this PR we have discussed in my previous article, that is some make changes in index.html and web.config files, right? So you can see the GitHub reviewer, that is InfoSatya, has added some comments in index.html, change the calendar from Monday to Friday, and removing the web.config file from pull request, right? And after add some comments by the reviewer, the new member, that is Satya CS GitHub, will receive a mail about some changes given by reviewer. So you can see this is the mail server of that is the GitHub member Satya CS GitHub. So here you can see here InfoSatya requested some changes, right? That is on pull request, that is the in index.html changes the calendar from Monday to Friday and removing the web.config file from pull request, right? So then what is happening is the new member will log into his or her GitHub accounts and check the that is the PR of this particular comments, right? You can see here GitHub member is login and check the go to this pull request URL, and he or she can check the comments what is required or any requirements given by the GitHub reviewer, like this. All right, so this is about step 1, and step 2 is the new member will modify the files and perform add, comment and push changes, right? So I have used I open my this project using Visual Studio, right? That the web application 1, and this project I have used in my across the videos of Git and GitHub tutorial, right? And before that I'll do some I'll show you some steps. That is, this is the path of my project, you can see, right? So what I'll do is, you can see go to this path project and click on this web application 1.sln. all right, so after done this, you can see the structure of my application. All right, and this is the request, this is the PR or pull request which was created this previous video, it has a reference, right? So after go to this URL, the GitHub reviewer and GitHub member has logged into this GitHub user, and they can check the comments or any status of this pull request. All right, so what I'll do here is, in this step 2, The member will open the project file and modify the index.html file in calendar as per requirements. So what is the requirements? That is the info Satya wants in index.html change the calendar from Monday to Friday, right? So you can see in this index.html it is set Monday to Saturday. So as per requirements I want to change it as Monday to Friday. So when it's done, you need to save these changes, right? And once you save these changes, we just go to we'll check the history section. So how to check history? You can see the index.html has its own red tick mark. So right click on the index.html and click on view history. So guys, in history section, where the project is modified by the GitHub users as shown here. So as of now, we can see the changes in GitHub repo made by the owner info Satya with commit ID and commit message. So here you can see there is info Satya is the GitHub Reviewer. So he has made some changes in some date with commit ID and the commit message. And in recent modification which is modified by the Satyasi's GitHub member on date and the commit ID and some messages. So in the history we can track the status of this particular file is given by or modified by a particular member with commit ID and commit message. Alright, and for specific commit message commit details, you can see some red is main, or this is the another branch Satyasi's GitHub. That means that branch request is merged to main branch. So this is the this icon is defines that whatever changes we have done here in Satyasi's GitHub branch, this is successfully merged to main branch. That's why it is showing here. If some commit message has been done, then it will show only this branch, not main branch. Alright, so this is all about, and to check the history, and we'll compare the changes of index.html. So right click on the index.html, compare with unmodified. So guys, here you can see is this is the old section. This is one is for left hand side, one is right hand. So left hand is the old one. Before changes it was Monday to Saturday, and I have changed to Monday to Friday with a green mark, right? So this way we can compare the file changes. All right, so we need to close this, and all right, we need to close all these tabs. So the member will repeat the same thing for web.config file. So whatever changes has been done, so we will add some comments in web.config file. So open this web.config file. Alright, so what are the comments is given by GitHub Reviewer is removing the web.config file from the pull request. Just copy this and we just paste here, right? Alright, and we'll add some dates like today we'll add some comments. Alright, so once it is done in web.config, we'll check the history section of it. So you can see the red tick mark, that is the pending edit. So right click on it, go to view history. So we can see here some commit message, that is the recently the Satyasi's GitHub has made some changes on date and its time, and its some comments has been added, right? And it was committed to this branch, that is Satyasi's GitHub _ branch repo. And info Satya has made some changes, that is whatever changes has been made, that is merged to the main branch, so that it will show. You can see Satyasi's GitHub branch is merged to main branch, and here only the commit has been done using Satyasi's GitHub branch. Alright, so that is the way we can check the status of this particular file. Alright guys, so this is all about, and we'll compare these files of the web.config file. So click on compare with unmodified. So here in red mark you can see this is the old comments, and in recently we have added the new comments with this one in the green mark, right? Okay, that's all about to compare these files, and we'll close this all the tabs. So we'll discuss about our step number 3, that is the new member will modify the files and perform add and commit and push changes. Alright, so before that guys, I'll tell you some extra points here. So once you open the project by that is the GitHub member, right? So you can see the branch of this specific Satyas's GitHub member is created earlier, that is Satyas's GitHub underscore branch repo. This is the project path, and this is the some changes has been made, that's 14 changes, and this is the there is no unpushed commits, so this is showing 0. Alright, so we'll discuss about step number 3, that is this one, right? And in this step what I'll do is okay, before that I'll open the Git Bash. So this is the path to my application, guys. So this is the command we need to execute to go to this path, right? And when it's done, after then before commit or push changes, use these commands, right? So git config global username, put your mail ID of this GitHub user, and use the global username of you can put the username of this this username who wants to push some changes. So as per my requirements, I have used the user email and username of Satyas's GitHub. Whatever you have done, register using your during creation of GitHub account. Alright, so here what I'll do is we change the directory to web application 1 of the GitHub repo folder. So guys, because you can see in this project path there is one more folder called web application 1, right? So we need to change the directory here. So go to this one, cd, and shift insert and click enter. So you can see the directory is changed to web application 1, and this is the branch of this GitHub user, Satyas's GitHub underscore branch, right? So here we'll check the status using Git Bash. We can we want to see some modified file name, that is index.html. Alright, and we can see some other files which are auto generated during while building the solution. So we need to ignore these files, and we can see those changes in Visual Studio as well as in Git Bash. So how to check it? First we will show you using my Visual Studio. So you can see one pencil mark, there is 14 changes. You can just click here. So guys, here you can see some auto generated files, some like a DLL, some kinds of files which is generated by the system, some DLL PDB, right? And as well as index.html and web.config files. This is we have made changes, but instead of these two files there is some auto generated files during while you build the solution. So we need to ignore these auto generated files, right? So in this way we can check these auto generated files and some modified files in Visual Studio. And we'll check the same thing using Git Bash. So how to check Git Bash? So we need to use one command called git status and press enter. So guys, here we can see same thing, that is the index.html file and the web.config file, right? And there except these two files we can see some auto generated files like this, right? obj, vs, some these files, some DLL, dump PDB, right? So we need to ignore these files. So in this way we can check these things using Git Bash. So next step is here the member adds the changes of index.html to the staging area, and then commit those changes to the staging area using the command. So we need to add these files, git add index.html. Make sure this file name should be in case sensitive, otherwise it will throws any error. So git add index.html, press enter. and then we need to push the changes to staging area using the command called git commit -m inside double quote. We need to add that update the, okay, you just mention here this same comments here, change the calendar from Monday to Friday, okay, and go to Git Bash, shift enter, shift insert and close and enter. So that means its commit successfully done, one file change, one insertion and one deletion. So here the same thing we need to continue for web.config. Here the member adds the changes of web.config to the staging area and then commit those changes to the staging area using the command. So git add, and we'll check here the file name, that is a web.config, right? So web dot config. If you put here small w, then it will not take, and then click enter and then commit those changes to staging area. So git commit m, and here we'll copy this URL, that is the removing web request, and go to Git Bash. I will just copy this one, shift insert, okay, just copy, shift insert today, right? We have mentioned the same comments in our web.config. Press enter. So my commit is done, and after then we'll need to push the changes from local git to remote GitHub repository. So this command is git, okay, before that we need to use this branch, right? So copy this, go, command is git push origin, right? And you need to use this branch name, so git push origin, this branch name, and click enter. So push operation is successfully done, right? You can see that is compressing objects to remove, and to which the URL is shown here, right? .git, that is that means our branch is successfully transfer the files from GitHub to remote GitHub repository. Alright, so we can see the updates in the view history section of index.html after pushing those changes using Visual Studio. So go to Visual Studio and Solution Explorer. Okay, you can see some red tick marks is removed from the index.html and web.config file after pushing those changes. So we need to check here for history of view.index.html. So go to view history. So guys, here you can see Satyashi's GitHub has made some changes on this today's date with time, and change the calendar from Monday to Friday. That is the comments is given during commit the changes. And we'll see the update history of web.config after pushing the changes using Visual Studio. So right click on the web.config, go to view history. So you can see guys, the Satyashi's GitHub has made some changes on this today's date with time, and the comments has been given during commit those changes, and here the branch name has been showing here. That means it is during commit we have during push the changes we have mentioned this branch name, right? So it is showing here, and you can see some kind of branch, it's showing to, it is points to main branch. That means this branch changes has been merged to main branch. So there is only one branch showing, that means only push changes has been done, but it is not merged to main branch. So it is showing only one branch, that is the user branch. Alright, so after successfully pushing those changes to the GitHub repo, that is the new branch called Satyashi's GitHub_branch repo. So we'll go to our GitHub login of that is the user Satyashi's GitHub, right? So click on this healthcare-pros. Alright, and we need to there is drop down called branch, main branch. So this is the main branch, default branch, and we need to check here because we have done some commit changes in this branch only. So select this branch under login of GitHub member, right? So here you can see, guys, there is two commits and two commits ahead and three commits behind main. All right. Also you can see here that is some recent comments has been added, that is change the calendar from Monday to Friday, right? And 3 minutes ago it is the commit ID, and 3 minutes ago we have done some changes using Git Bash, right? So what I'll do is next is we need to open this web application 1. So once you open the web application 1, you can see web.config file. 4 minutes ago it is some commit message with a recent commit message, that is change the calendar from Monday to Friday today. And for index.html, the commit message change the calendar from Monday to Friday, and it was committed before 5 minutes ago. All right. So we need to open this file, so index.html, and if you open this, okay, so you can see the changes is reflected successfully in the index.html, that is Monday to Friday. All right, and you just go back to the file structure. So if you open this web.config, right, and you can see this comments, that is removing the web.config file from pull request today. Okay, but okay, once it is done, then we need to check the same index.html and web.config file. If we check the commit message under the selection of main branch, then these changes will not be available. So go to this one, okay, and here go to my this is the main branch, right? So in main branch we need to check on using our GitHub Reviewer. So this is the GitHub Reviewer GitHub ID info Satya. So so GitHub Reviewer will check if any changes has been reflected, same changes has been done in main branch or not. So under selection of main branch, right, the GitHub Reviewer go to web application 1, and here you can see the index.html has different commit messages. It was 9 months ago, and web.config file, removing web.config file from pull request, it was 1 hour ago. That means whatever changes we have done, it is not showing the same message in the same files, that is web.config and index.html under main branch. All right. So what I'll do is next step is step number 4 is then the new member will create the PR of these two files with the main branch. Alright, this is the step number 4. And what I'll do is go to a GitHub member ID, GitHub URL, GitHub login ID of GitHub member, that is Satya's GitHub. So here he wants to create a pull request, right? So I'll show you the pull request. So go to this one, just select here Satya's GitHub branch repo, and okay, before that, guys, all right, so check here any messages has coming here, is not showing here because we have not created any comments or not create any pull request, so that it will not showing. All right, and also in our that is the GitHub Reviewer also not has received any updated mail. So this is the mail which was received earlier during creation of pull request tree, and some comments has been given by the GitHub Reviewer. After then he has not received any further mail from any regarding on changes. Also same thing is for that is the GitHub member, right? So here GitHub member will create the pull request. So click on pull request. Alright, you can see there is button called new pull request. So this is the base branch, main branch. Here we'll need to click this, select this Satya's GitHub _ main branch. So once it is selected, it's showing able to merge. So these branches can be automatically merged, right? So here you can see guys, there is some details, right? So we'll create the pull request with some details. So create pull request, and here we'll add some comments. That is in index.html, the calendar is updated to Monday to Friday, index.html file, and in web.config the comment is updated with remove text. Alright, so this is during creation of pull request a member adds some comments. Alright, and also during creation of pull request the member can see any whatever changes they have made or earlier. So there is one is for two commits, right? One is for index.html, another is one for that is the web.config, another one is for index.html. So he also compare these two files whatever he has done. So in web.config file there is some minus, it is a deletion mark, right? So that means this is the old comment removing web.config file from a pull request, and he has added some new comments, that is the removing web.config file from pull request today. And in index.html the text was Monday to Saturday, and he has updated to Monday to Friday. So which is removed, that is highlighted with the red mark and with the minus symbol, and the same thing is showing here in index.html. This file is removed, this text is removed, that is the with red highlighted mark with the minus symbol, and this plus symbol with green highlighted, it means this is the updated comments is our text is by the GitHub member. So they can compare these files using during creation of pull request. So there is two addition and two deletions. Alright, and there is two commits, two changes, one contributor, and there is some unique ID commit details, right? You can check here, and after add some comments you just create pull request button here. So guys, here in pull request we can check if the before changes and after changes of index.html and web.config needs to be merged under the file changed options. So we'll check here file changed options. There is two files, right? And there is some the same we have discussed during creation of pull request, right? So that is two insertion and two deletions, and there is two files is modified and create the pull request of two files. One is web.config, another is index.html. So which line is removed, it is showing in red, which line is updated, it is showing in the green mark. And same thing happened in index.html. So this red highlighted mark means this is old, and this is the green highlighted text means this is the new one. So my pull request is successfully done, right? And here the member will add the reviewer to review the changes. So go to conversations tab. Alright, and here we need to add the reviewer to review the changes under this pull request, and you can see there is no reviewers, right? So you just click on this gear button, and there is two options is showing. One is Info Satya and one there is API team, right? So we need to click here as Info Satya as a GitHub reviewer. So you can add up to 15 reviewers, right? Request up to 15, but here as per my GitHub it's showing only one. So once it is selected, you can see Satya's Info Satya reviewer is added successfully. Alright, and here the member added the owner of the reviewer, and Info Satya was requested for review as shown here. So in the if you review requested, if you click here one pending reviewer, so you can see this reviewer name Info Satya was requested for a review, right? So here the owner called Info Satya will get a mail that Satya says GitHub requested your review. So how to check is to go to mail of info Satya and just refresh. So you can see one our new mail was coming from GitHub that you can see here, right? Satya says GitHub requested your review on pull request 4 and Satya says GitHub branch repo. Alright, so in this way the reviewer can see the mail whatever pull request has been made by the GitHub member, right? And you can directly click on this GitHub URL, that is the hash4, right? It's showing here. So click on it, it will directly redirect to this particular pull request. You can see pull request 4 is redirect to here by using that is the GitHub Reviewer ID. Alright, so it will navigate to pull request URL created by Satya CS GitHub member. Alright, okay, now we'll discuss about we can see here one message that Satya says GitHub requested your review on this pull request. So the final point is we need to that is the owner will check and add comments to member to remove this file using Git Bash. So go to this URL, pull request URL, using login of info Satya GitHub Reviewer. So guys, what he will do is here the owner info Satya will log into his GitHub account and review the changes of Satya CS GitHub using the pull request URL, right? And here Satya CS GitHub has added some comments during creation of pull request, that is in index.html file. The calendar is updated to Monday to Friday, and in web.config the comment is updated with remove text. Alright, then the reviewer will check these files. So what the reviewer will do, he will go to file change options, right? And he or she can check the this file whatever changes the GitHub member has done. So in web.config file he can check this comment, and in index.html the GitHub reviewer has checked this comments is given by GitHub member. Alright, the GitHub member will check the index.html and web.config file and its changes under this under the file change options, and he wants to add some comments. So what he will do is there is a review changes, right? So you just check here reviewed and add some comments on GitHub reviewer has reviewed the web.config file. There is total file 2 files, and we need to review the check the review check the viewed checkbox of index.html. That means the GitHub reviewer has viewed this file as well. Alright, and after then he will add some comments that please remove your local web.config file from pull request because the web.config file of main branch is for production server. Alright, so it will be a issue if your local web.config replaces the web.config of production server. Okay, so he has added some comments, and once done, go check we need to check the request changes. Alright, and the reviewer click on submit review. Okay, now you can see guys, the GitHub reviewer, whatever comments they have added, it will reflecting on the same pull request with pull request review. All right, and so we can see using our GitHub review ID, right? So here your review was successfully submitted. So here we want to check the same review comments using our GitHub member branch. Alright, so you need to just refresh. That is the GitHub ID of the GitHub member, right? That is the Satya CS GitHub. So he'll get one mail. He was getting one mail that that is okay. So pull request for @github.com. So guys, here the GitHub member has received one new message from InfoSatya that InfoSatya requested changes on this pull request. Please remove your local web.config file from pull request because the web.config file of main branch is for production server. So it will be a issue if your local web.config replaces the web.config of production server. So the comments has been given by the GitHub reviewer on this particular pull request. So as soon as he has given the comments, the GitHub member has got the message or mail that the GitHub reviewer requested some changes on this pull request. Alright, also we have checked here using our pull request. So on using login of Satya's GitHub ID, so you can see the requested changes that is 2 minutes ago by GitHub reviewer or GitHub owner, that is InfoSatya. That InfoSatya left a comment and the same comments is reflecting here, right? And here we'll click here. So InfoSatya requested a changes under changes requested. He wants the changes and he has requested that changes, and we can see the comments as well, right? Okay, that is the details we are getting from pull request. That during pull request, what the members has given comments and what are the reviewer has given some comments, and under changes requested, the reviewer has requested the changes. This is the status, right? And and it is showing the merge request. Once the successfully done, we can merge the pull request using this URL. As of now, there is nothing required to merge the pull request because this GitHub reviewer wants some changes, so that after doing some changes we can create again the PR and given access to reviewer to check this, review this code, and then we need to wait for the request is for merge the branches using merge the pull request, and that is the GitHub member branch will be merged to the main branch. Alright, so here Satyas's GitHub was getting an mail about changes requested by the reviewer as shown here, right? Alright, so this is all about how to manage wrong files in GitHub using pull request between the GitHub reviewer and GitHub member. Alright, so go to my presentation here. So merging a pull request, there is few points is discussed here. I already have discussed these points in my previous videos. And what are the restrictions on merge pull request? These are the points I have discussed in my previous video. This is the auto merger for pull request or PR. These are all points we have discussed in my previous videos. So in this video we have discussed these points, right? The reviewer wants some changes in index.html file and web.config. Then the new member will modify the files and perform add, comment and push changes using Git Bash. Then the new member will modify the files and perform add, commit and push some changes, right? And the new member will create a PR of wrong files with main branch, and the owner will check and add comments to member to remove these files using Git Bash. So this point number 3 is, that is, the member will create a PR of wrong file with main branch, right? So this one I already have discussed. All right, so this is all about, guys, for today. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.